Hello everyone, Steve Furrow here with Mountain to Lake Realty and the Kingery team. We're bringing you another adventure in real estate. We appreciate you joining us. And today, well, Miss Patti, how are you?
Doing great, Steve.
Of course, we've got Miss Patti Dickerson here with us at Virginia Title Center. What are we going to talk about today, Patti? The people?
The people.
The people at Virginia Title Center. Great people, great staff.
Stellar team, for sure.
So when we talk about people, I mean, everybody, I don't care what industry you're in, it is a challenge today to keep, you got to find the people, but then keeping good people. So tell us a little bit about how you go about recruiting and finding people, and how do you go about developing them?
Well, the recruiting, most of our new hires have come from referrals.
Okay.
Whether it's been a referral, most of them from current employees, but sometimes we've had referrals from lenders, realtors, people they think might be a good fit. And that's really the most important thing to us. We would look for people that their goals, their work ethic fit into our culture. We feel that we can teach them the process.
Right.
And so they don't always have to be experienced for every position.
Okay.
So a lot of what we've done recently is bring in some young folks that are really eager to learn. We establish what their role is, but then we sit down with every one of our teammates at the beginning of the year, and we create what we call an individual development plan.
Okay.
And we ask them to establish two goals. They can be personal or professional. I usually try to get them to do one of each. And then we establish kind of
steps to get there?
Steps to get there. And then every other month I meet with them. We review to see what their progress is, anything that's getting in their way that we can change. Always, it's a great time to check in to make sure that they're happy, they're feeling fulfilled in their role, and talking about what next steps they might want to take within the organization so we can continue to groom them.
And I mean, it sounds, is it pretty wide open? And I think about, you mentioned personal and professional, and I think about like a personal goal. I mean, it could be wide, whatever they want, right? I mean, you don't put any sort of stipulations or anything like it. It's just whatever they'd like to do.
Yeah, and we're there to support them, because if they're happy personally, they're going to be happy at work too. It translates. So we look at them holistically, and that's what we feel helps to create our success and the sense of team. And that's the one thing that I always check in with them. How do you feel about the teamwork? How do you feel about, are you informed? Do you understand what we're doing, what our goals are, and how your role plays a part in the big picture?
So I'm curious, you're talking about teams and kind of how the interaction is with teams. I have taken several personality tests, if you will. Is that something that you incorporate in what you guys do at all?
We did a Strengths Finders test, which was a lot of fun. And it helps you learn how to communicate with people. And that's one of the things that I ask a lot of questions. I ask questions to understand, and then it helps me learn how to approach them with new ideas. Okay, understand. And how to interact with them, and then I can coach their peers on, those nuances as well, so they can have more successful communication.
A little helpful tip. That's a good way.
Yeah, that's why I see myself a lot as a coach, developing people and helping them feel fulfilled. Sure.
Well, I applaud Virginia Title Center for doing that, because that's a lot of times there's a lot of conversation that goes on about things like that happening within an organization, but when it really comes down to, every other month meetings, you're committed, and you're committed to it.
And that's a personal commitment I make. We only, in our development plan, it says you meet the beginning of the year, mid-year, and at the end. Okay. But I make the extra commitment of every other month, because I feel it's too long of a period, And so getting those check-ins, I want to make sure that every person feels comfortable sitting down, talking about anything that might be challenging them, talk about their successes so we can celebrate those.
That's Well, that is truly, you need to be applauded for that, because that's, again, a lot of people talk about that, organizations talk about it, but when it really comes down to getting it done, I think it's one of those things that kind of gets, we'll get to it when we have a chance, you know, and it never happens. So that's
well, positive culture creates better teamwork, and then ultimately a better client experience, which means repeat business.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what you're after.
That's right.
You got to, because those clients, they've got a good experience. Maybe they'll come back, but then they'll also tell their friends, their family, their neighbors, whoever, say, hey, look, this is, we had a great experience here. So I can sure see that. What could I ask? What is maybe the most unique personal goal you've experienced maybe with any of your clients? I know I'm kind of going off script here, so I apologize, but I was just curious. I think about. Well,
yeah, you think we've got some young folks who would like to become homeowners.
Okay.
And you know, they're in a position that isn't as high a paying role. They're young.
Sure.
So being in the industry, it helps us have the knowledge of what all goes into it. So we can tell them, you know, these are the steps that you're going to need to take.
Sure.
We've got one that's buying a house right now, and part of her goal with it is she wanted to be involved in every step of the process so she could see how it all works. And it's giving her a greater appreciation of what we do.
Oh, that's a unique perspective for her, and that'll pay off in her job, whatever role she is there. That'll really pay off.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's pretty cool. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Patti.
Yes, thank you.
If you guys are interested in getting someone to handle you want to close up on your real estate transaction, Virginia Title Center, I'm sure would love to visit with you.
Yes, take a look at our website, virginiatitlecenter.com, and you can meet our team there.
Well, Miss Patti, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
We're going to let that wrap up today's adventure in real estate. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, be safe.